You know, I just wish someone would give me something challenging for the Forgotten Race review. The is that? What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. It's time for the weirdest looking Forgotten Race review homebrew I've ever seen in my whole life. Boom, Michael Baker would like us to look at a character from a very old PSX game called Volfas to homebrew the Flamina into your Pathfinder games. So, yeah, that's the thing that we're doing. Neat. Anyway, if you guys are liking what you're seeing, remember to like, subscribe, ding that bell for more of your Pathfinder 1st and 2nd edition coverage. Today, this episode of the Forgotten Race review is brought to you in part by the man who requested it, Mr. Michael Baker. Thank you as always for your long-term support, my friend. And I said it in a comment. I'll say it out loud too. Congratulations on the new addition to your family. I am overwhelmed with joy for you, my friend. Now, let's build this whatever. What is this? I don't even know. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I wish I had like 3 extra weeks for this episode of the Forgotten Race review so I could have got a ROM of Volfas and played it. This game is a lot of things, and all of them are super obscure. It's a tactical RPG for the PSX with basically no Wikipedia. But the big takeaway from Volfas is that the art was created by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Nirasawa Yasushi. You might know him from the Kamen Rider series, you might know him from Soul Calibur, making a bunch of concept art for him, Final Fantasy The Spirits Within, Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, and the Beast Warriors game for the Sega Genesis. Hey, I remember that one. That game was real weird, but it was real fun, and that's kind of the spirit of what we're looking at here. Down to this thing, again, truly, I wish I had a few weeks to grab the ROM, play the thing, get a feel for it. But as I look at it, really there's one thing I can think in Pathfinder, and that is flesh warping, which is the process of violently transforming an entire body into a completely new one. In the Age of Darkness, the demon lord Hagenti gifted this secret to the Drow. It's also used by the Dominion of the Black. Long story short, take a humanoid race, put it in a vat of some other stuff, mix it all together, and you have a new aberrant creature. This is how the Driders are made in Pathfinder. This is a harpy whose wings have been replaced with additional legs, and I could see that as a way to domesticate a race with flight to be used as a slave race, make some kind of faster shock troops. But I imagine you take a harpy, chop up bits of an ostrich or an axe beak, or why not both, jam them in the pot, boom, Flamina. Now, let's take a look at the stats of this thing. I'm going to say your Flamina character comes of age when it is created, because these things don't breed true, I'm sure. As they come from harpies, they are in fact only female, ranging from 5'4" to 6 feet, not counting those enormous legs, which would effectively double the height of the creature when standing on them. More on that in a second. Weighing anywhere from 120 to 150 pounds. The max age of them is probably not a lot. Flesh warping is not the safest of practices. Let's say at age of creation plus 2d 20 years. I'm probably being really generous with 2d 20 years. It is what it is. Anyway, down to that character sheet. I have to imagine the Flamina is bred for its agility, but the process of doing so is probably not the most healthiest on the humanoid body. So +4 to dexterity with those super fast legs, but a -2 to strength and constitution as the rest of the body suffers from vile and brutal experimentation. This is a medium aberration, but counts as large for the purpose of space and CMB while standing on its wing legs. More on that in a second. And it's got a base speed of 40 feet on those wing legs, or 30 when standing on its feet. In addition, this thing has a grand total of 4 Talon attacks, 2 of which deal 1d4 points of damage and have a reach of 5 feet, 2 of which deal 1d6 damage with a reach of 10 feet. Most boring of it, it has dark vision out to 60 feet. Least boring of it, I look at this thing and I have to think, this race is modal. Sometimes it stands on its back legs, sometimes it stands on its actual feet legs, and so your Flamina can switch between standing on what I'm calling its wing legs, or its feet as a swift action. The claws on the appendage it is standing on are always considered its secondary attacks, but that's the gimmick here. Playing a large race can be very, very, very debilitating if the game you're playing in is not ready to handle it. So, swift action, hop off those wing legs onto your feet, The wing legs kind of like hook under around the waist to serve as some weird clawing appendage thing, and you're a medium creature. Or, if you want to play a large dex-based thing, hop onto the wing legs, be treated as a large creature for the purpose of your grapple, make yourself a grapple build, seems good. Playing this thing, I have to imagine, basically just slave race. It's unfortunate, but your Flamina has probably escaped the Darklands. Can't breed true, and since it came from a creature that once ate humanoid flesh, that's probably just exacerbated now. Though of course that isn't to say that a whole group of these couldn't escape slavery, make it back to the surface, start an enclave in and of their own. But that's what I think when I see these things. A hard life of slavery, a hard life of after being captured by raiders and dragged down into the Darklands for brutal experimentation. I will probably use this in an upcoming game, since they'll be fighting the Dominion of the Black for a long time. And would I play as this? Yeah, probably. I don't see why not. Being modal is really cool. I actually have a custom race that I'm kind of thinking about just getting rid of now that the Skittermander exists, because this was before Starfinder. The idea was sometimes you have 4 arms, sometimes you have 6 legs. Not like, oh, Stitch! I suppose that ship has sailed. But being modal, again, is really great. If you need to be a medium creature, be a medium creature. If you want to be a large creature, be a large creature. If you need to get something on the top shelf, well, just lean back onto those back wing leg things and off you go. I can dig it. But what do you guys think? Would you play this? Have you played Volfos? Tell me something about that game. In any case, thank you guys so much for watching. It's Third Party next week from Green Ronin Publishing's Advanced Bestiary. Next week, it's the Agathian Invested. I'll see you then.